absolute certainty on how you go from hello to yes on what you're looking for.
Sean is a master. He teaches. It's not just about sharing the formula with you. It's about making sure that we learn.
I went from $100,000 in debt from law school to having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 unwinnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to the most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high-performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all these people's lives over the course of time. And I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear it for Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see them as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
The American Blind Association is the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula for formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people. If you believe that, say yes. If you believe that, say yes. Do you think that worked?
I do think that works, Howie.
No, I think that worked, Howie.
No, I think that worked, Sean. I said it first.
I really think that worked too.
I think it worked.
Yeah, Howie, we have a mobile tech team. We have an entourage of 60. And of course, we can't get a laptop to work so I could be on the Heart of Influence on a Zoom in 2025. This is the story of my life. Actually, that's not true. My life is extremely blessed. There's a minor annoyance and irritation as I will be on camera in a moment. And happy Trajectory Tuesday. It is Howie's Heart of Influence, Howie Gershman. Howie, love you and appreciate you, brother. We're going to introduce this growth-minded, just not growth-driven, heart-centered, integrous person committed to mastery, Belle of Rita, Trajectory Tuesday. Who in the heck has Howie assembled? I'm hearing clown car, people filing out, Belle of Rita.
There are people coming out of clown cars. There is definitely a heart-centered, growth-minded group here for the business leaders of Hudson Valley Heart of Influence with Mr. Howie Gershman. And first, from Kingston, New York, dedicated attorney with over 25 years in personal injury, civil rights law, advocating for clients with unwavering integrity. Practicing since 1999, established his firm focusing on representing injured individuals. Cool. Commended for his meticulous, heart-centered approach, highlighting his caring nature and effective legal representation. Let's welcome to the show, Raymond Ayala.
Raymond, warm welcome to the Heart of Influence. Thank you for being here. Coming from the Hudson Valley today, Belle of Rita, these heart-centered folk. Raymond, Plato, the Greek philosopher, said, play a game with me for an hour, and we will learn more about each other than if we speak for a year. And this game kicks off with a fun fact. It could be an adventurous moment, a proud moment, a surprising moment, any moment that's a headline. Because Raymond, Belle of Rita, like Chuck Barris from The Gong Show, carries the gong if it goes beyond one sentence. And she doesn't like gonging anyone except me. So please, Raymond, what is your fun fact that would make us say, Raymond, no way?
I'm better at roller skating than everyone on this Zoom call.
Whoa.
Yes, Raymond. Yes, Raymond. You own that and throw it down. That is a great illustration of the absence of false modesty, but still the potential presence of humility. Wonderful Life fun fact, Raymond. Disruptive, powerful, ready. Raymond has led by example. Warm welcome, brother. Come on, Bella. Raymond's got momentum going.
Raymond's got momentum. I feel a roller skating challenge coming, but welcome Raymond to the Heart of Influence. And next, from Poughkeepsie, New York, visionary entrepreneur and trailblazing founder, empowering wellness and service-based entrepreneurs to build scale with authenticity, heart, and genuine connection. More than 3,000 businesses and entrepreneurs have been supported by her philosophy and technology, simplifying the process of building and marketing a business through the power of AI and the future of tech. Let's welcome to the show, Jessa Grace.
Warm welcome, Trajectory Tuesday, Heart of Influence, and please, your fun fact.
My fun fact, I have never in my life had an employer.
Whoa.
Whoa. That is
Neither has Sean until I came along.
Yes, and now Bella is my boss. This is absolutely true. Warm welcome. Here's to entrepreneurial dynamics and not living the E-Myth, Bella of Rita. Come on! Momentum is present. Who's next?
Momentum is present. Welcome, Jessa, to the Heart of Influence. And next up from Monroe, New York, business banker for 20 plus years, focused on commercial lending, working throughout the Hudson Valley, has worked for numerous banks, lives and works to serve and support people from the heart. Community-minded, looking to develop relationships to give more business owners opportunities that they didn't know existed beforehand. Let's welcome to the show, Humberto Guerrero. Humberto's a champion.
Humberto the champion. Campeón del mundo. Your fun fact. Your fact of the day.
Fun fact, down in Fort Lauderdale, what happens in Fort Lauderdale stays in Fort Lauderdale.
Unless you come on the Heart of Influence and share it.
Basically, 1987, watching a movie. Me and my friends are on the movie. In the credits at the very beginning, couldn't believe it was us. We were just trying to meet people. We did a silly act, and it was fun. I won't tell you the name of the movie, but that's a fun fact.
Was it Spring Break?
Yes, it was.
How about me, Bella of Rita?
How about you,
Bella of Rita? Yes.
It was a lot of
Humberto,
fun.
is that a surprising guess? Are you a little shocked that I'm reading your mind and citing a movie from 38 years ago?
I am very surprised, yes. Extremely.
Yeah.
He's like an encyclopedia, Humberto.
Yeah. Bella of Rita, where are we going?
Next up, we are going to White Plains, New York, Sean. Business broker entering his 5th decade of creating and curating network opportunities, relationships, and business development. Received his master's in engineering and an MBA from engineering tech to running startups, closing yes, and building teams. Spent the last 3 years turning 300 people, buyer and sellers, into their own team to cause successful ventures and outcomes. Let's welcome to the show, Peter Gregory.
Peter, warm welcome to Howie's Heart of Influence. Please, your fun fact.
No, thanks. Yeah. There's probably not too many people that know in the last year I picked up dancing. It was way off my bingo card of life and what to do, but that's my thing, having fun doing swing dancing out there.
Nice. Did you ever see the movie or hear of the movie Swing Kids?
Yeah, that's kind of like a staple you've got to watch. Actually, that I haven't gotten to yet, but yeah, that runs in the swing dancing circles. Everybody's got to watch that one. Yeah.
Come on, brother. It is such a powerful, inspiring, awe-creating, and sad movie. It really is beautiful. So congratulations on your swing dancing path, and may you step into the movie Swing Kids. Bella of Rita, these are heart-centered folks. Come on, Bella.
There are definitely some heart-centered folks here. Next up, from New Rochelle, New York, 30 plus years of legal expertise specializing in real estate, business law, and estate planning. president of the New Rochelle Business Bar Association, upholds excellence, community commitment in law, dedicated to heart-centered, personalized legal solutions, ensuring every client's needs are met with trust and professionalism. Let's welcome to the show, David Lucker.
David, warm welcome to Howie's Heart of Influence and your fun fact on this Trajectory Tuesday, please, David.
Thank you. I started classical piano study at the age of 4.5 years old.
Wow.
And the back end of that 4.5-year-old story is that I am currently in an extended process of restoring my childhood grand piano myself. That I have had since I was about 6 years old, and that piano is 109 years old itself.
Wow, dude, beautiful heart-centeredness. Bella, I'm hearing restoring childhood pianos, classical pianist. We're hearing the magic of swing dancing and doing body shots on spring break. That's what I'm hearing today, Bella. Come on.
This is quite the show that Howie has assembled. I think you're hearing it correctly. And next up from Newborough, New York, a certified human resources professional, a partner in outsourced human resources firm, a senior level pro and strong legislative advocate, has served in a wide range of industries, including healthcare, finance, and manufacturing, balances employee advocacy and business needs of the organization, the most challenging aspect of compliance and human resources. Let's welcome to the show, Janet Giannetta.
And it's Janet?
Janet Giannetta.
Yeah. Thank you, Janet. And please, Janet, what is your fun fact?
So I'm going to start with a little boring and then move into the fun. So as a senior certified HR professional, I have to do a certain amount of continuing education units, typically through conferences, to maintain it. But that takes away from my love of travel, especially cruising. So I have found a way to blend both worlds, and I have been on 3 human resource conference cruises and love it.
And if you can go on a cruise anywhere, Janet, tomorrow in the world, where would you cruise to?
Well, next year I'm going to Italy.
Let's go. Chilling through Italy, Bella Verita. I like the pizza there, but not as much as I do Jersey pizza. Come on.
That is funny. Next up, Sean, there's a gentleman that brought all of these people together. You may know this person, but let me introduce him. He's from Hopewell Junction, New York, regional leader with Primerica for almost 20 years, with over 300 clients all over the country, turned 13 clients with massive debt to be on track to have $1 million in retirement accounts, set up numerous families to send their children to college without huge loans, focuses on putting in place programs to prevent unexpected disaster like death from turning into financial ruin. Let's welcome to the show, the one, the only,
Howie, I'm feeling the Hudson Valley theme today, brother. Again, growth-driven, heart-centered, integrous man, committed to mastery. Howie, please, your fun fact.
Our fun fact for today is about 1.5 years ago, my wife and I celebrate our 50th wedding anniversary, 50, same person one time. We took ourselves on a sailing trip to the Bahamas. It was awesome.
Oh, that's awesome, brother. A true heart-centered romantic, not confused. And Howie, shall we do the things on your heart of influence?
I am ready, but what I'm really impressed about is your attire today. I've never had you on a Heart of Influence show with a suit and tie. It's just awesome. I'm so honored for you to be here.
For you, Howie. For you, brother. And this is the approaching 2000th episode of the Heart of Influence. And I believe this is the first one I've ever done in a tie. I think in 2000, almost 2,000 episodes. That is true, Howie. 8,000 plus people been on the show. So thank you for that. Bella Verita, let's introduce her, Howie. This woman started her career in influence as an 8-year-old selling crafts on her parents' front lawn, and then she put 3 words together that don't go together. teenager, network marketing, and $1 million business. That doesn't happen. But then she became like Michael Jordan, three-peating, but not in hoops, but instead is Nevada's #1 business broker. And she did it at 24 years old. She's the first woman to ever do it in a male-dominated industry, let alone to do it 3 straight times, and the youngest person, take that, dudes, to ever do it in the first place at all. She then began to train Fortune 500 companies and entrepreneurs. In fact, in 2019, every sales team she worked with doubled their sales. Skier, surfer, scuba diver, adventurer, maybe she learned it from a blind man, maybe from YouTube. Sometimes it changes by the hour where it came from, but today I think we're in pretty good shape. She's also a philanthropist that raised $10 million with the Unblinded team over the past couple of years, and in 2023 this woman publicly battled and defeated cancer. Let's welcome to Howie's Heart of Influence, the woman that put the heart in it, the one, the only, Bella Verita! Bella, exhausting. I need a nap after introducing you. And yes, please, your fun fact.
Yes, John, I think I will go with the fun fact today that I did, in fact, learn to surf, ski, and scuba dive from a blind man, and now I'm that blind man's boss. That's my fun fact for today.
Yes, that is absolutely true. And I don't know how I would make it through my day without you telling me what to do. So I'm super grateful for that, Bill of Rita. Thank you, boss. And shall we do the things?
We shall do the things, but let me introduce my co-host, the man that is just coming from Washington, D.C., meeting with senators, causing things in the White House up there. And let me introduce this man. In fact, he actually is the man that Tony Robbins said, there's no one who leads with more heart and more integrity than Sean Callagy. He beats world champions like Becky at body surfing competitions. He is only one of 2 attorneys to win 2 top 100 national jury verdicts between 2014 and 2016, the only one that's blind out of 1.2 million attorneys. In fact, the state of New Jersey actually named him one of New Jersey's most influential attorneys. He has spoken on stages such as Disney, T-Mobile, Salesforce, Tony Robbins 18 times. And when he's not busy flying around speaking on stages of Fortune 25 companies to Fortune 500 companies, he's an incredible philanthropist that raised nearly $10 million for charity in the last 2 years. Let's welcome to the show, the one, the only, Sean Callagy!
So, Miss Bella Verita.
I like this tie and suit look.
Howie
I think we
Gersh.
should go with this for the remainder of all the Hearts of Influences, Sean. This is a good look.
Yes, it is not in my contract. I will need triple the pay to put a suit back on the regular, but we can talk about it for sure. So thank you, Howie. Warm welcome to everybody here today for Heart of Influence. And yeah, I've taught, my fun fact, I've taught sighted people to ski, surf, and to scuba dive in the most extreme of conditions, hurricanes, blizzards, shark-infested waters, all completely true. And none of that was nearly as challenging as 8 meetings with the Senate and the House in the past 2 days, including a beautiful conversation in the private sanctuary, the House Ways and Means Committee, after every hearing today on the No Surprises Act and everything we're up to in the world of supporting physicians and being reimbursed what they're appropriately owed, as that business is now that we're operating in 40 states across the country, and soon we'll be speaking at the American Association of Neurosurgeons and taking it all across the healthcare spectrum. And yes, Washington can actually work. That is my fun fact for today.
That is a super fun fact, Sean Callagy, out there making a difference.
Yes. So, Bella Verita, as we explore the ability to cause yes with integrity, who is it that we're going to speak to first?
I think we kick it off with Jessa today.
Jessa, here's what we're doing. We were just in Washington, and all of those things, the laws that are passed, the Supreme Court decision making, how people get elected, all of how people get their jobs, whether they're cleaning the restroom or working in somebody's senatorial office, all of that happens after one word Yes, so does everything in leadership, management, recruitment, fundraising, for profit, not for profit, marketing, and selling. Jessa, as you know, and everyone knows, all happens after yes. But I don't know, in 2025, I think most people are like over pitching, hooking, closing. Yuck. And we see it come from 10,000 miles away. We're bombarded with nonsense. But what does it look like when heart centered, sophisticated, integrous people should have a yes sit between them? How do we do that? That's what the more than 8,000 people on the show have been exploring for the past 5 years. So thank you, Jessa, and everyone for becoming a part of that legacy. And so, Jessa, to play this game, to work through some of these issues, to get to know each other better, Bella's going to be anyone you'd like her to be. She could be an ideal client. Heck, she could be a senator. She could be somebody for philanthropic fundraising. Or she could be somebody like Oprah Winfrey or Warren Buffett. Anyone, Jessa, that you want to be speaking with and causing a yes with. Footnote, red alert, it doesn't have to be a final yes. It doesn't have to be a sale. It could just be a yes for a longer conversation. So Jessa, please, who would you like Bella Rita to be that you're going from hello to yes with?
I am terrified of this one, and then that's why I'm going to do it. Your name is actually Magdalena, and you are the CEO of the International Coaching Federation.
Okay.
Oh, Magdalena, the head of the ICF. Bella! Come on now.
All right.
Hello,
so-
this is Magdalena.
Okay, so sorry. Let's try again. Start again.
Hello, this is Magdalena.
Hi, Magdalena. This is Jessica Grace, and we are scheduled to speak now. Is now still a good time for you?
It is still a good time, yes. Unfortunately, I only had a few minutes.
I only need like maybe 4 minutes of your time.
Okay, I got 3.
Okay, we'll do 3. And I'm going to guess that you're probably going to want more.
Sean, we can hear a lot of shuffling around.
Michael.
Okay. Am I good? Good to go?
Yes, you're good. Sorry, I just couldn't hear you over all the scratching.
Great. Yeah. We're here. We're having this conversation. I have been so looking forward to this conversation since it was in my calendar last week. I have been daydreaming about how blown away I'm about to be by your insights on what it is that I'm doing. But I know we want to cut straight to the chase, but I have one really important but very fun question for you. Are you up for just a little bit of fun for a few seconds?
I am always up for fun. Okay. Let's hear it.
I want to ask you, what is your favorite thing? But before you answer, I want to give you some clarity because that could mean anything, Doritos or my baby. So I really want you to think about your favorite feeling. What does that favorite thing make you feel? So for example, we all love watching inspirational speeches. I myself, I binge watch, America's Got Talent, and I watch these people with these amazing voices and I get that feeling where my chest is rising and welling, the hairs on my neck and arms start rising up. I feel like, am I going to cry? I'm crying. No, I'm not. I think I'm crying. And we really just get that full mind, body, spirit. Yes. Have you ever had that feeling?
I had that feeling today.
Oh, I'm so glad. I think everybody should have it at least twice a day, myself personally. Now, let me ask another question. As the founder of Heartfelt AI, it's important for me to understand for everyone else. Has ChatGPT ever given you that feeling?
I mean, not quite that, but it's given me some pretty good answers that I'm fond of.
There are
One
so
of which
many
came
times,
today, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, there are so many times where we're like, oh, that's me, but maybe even a little bit better.
Yes.
Now, the thing is, with that feeling, it's what I personally call, in my industry, I call it that sixth sense. It knows not dead people. It's a really good, full mind, body, spirit, yes. And there's a science to it. It's called frisson. It's a French word because in English, there are no happy words for it. It's just, oh, I got the tingles. I got the feeling. But there's a science to it. And what I have been able to do is reverse engineer that science for marketing, specifically transformational and service-based business.
Okay. And I got like 20 seconds yet left.
20 seconds
I'm not quite sure where this is going.
So what I just wanted to explain it to you because what it is it's a suite of tools, AI tools that is specifically built for the wellness industry. And I know that that's what you do. You have thousands and thousands of coaches that I would love to support. So what I'm asking is, can we schedule a time where I give you a full demonstration of this and we have a meeting of the minds to see if we can come to an agreement and an arrangement where we can be collaborating. So we create 3 wins, a win for you, a win for your clients and your coaches, and a win for Heartfelt.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely curious and want to know more information. So maybe we can, schedule a 15-minute conversation. You can explain a little bit more, and then we can see if a further conversation is necessary.
That sounds amazing. Thank you so much for your time.
Awesome. Thank you, Jessa.
Yeah, Jessa, heart-centeredness fully present for sure. We'll get to the feedbackers in a moment. Bella, who's following up Jessa?
Following up Jessa Sean is Raymond.
Raymond, please. Who would you like Bella to be?
And just unmute for us, Raymond. Raymond is finding that unmute button. Be elusive.
They hit it on me.
Yeah. The elusive unmute button, Raymond. Who would you like Bella to be?
Who am I getting a yes from?
From Bella, and she'll be anybody you want.
Golly. I suppose you would be an insurance adjuster, and I would be asking you to pay me money.
Bella, come on, adjust some insurance.
Hello, this is Bella.
Hey, Bella, this is Raymond A. I'm calling on claim number whatever it is. So we could discuss a resolution of that matter. Have you had a chance to review the file?
I have reviewed the file.
So do you want to give me an idea of where you're valuing this matter?
Yeah, I think we by the looks of things and for everything that we have reviewed, I think we are willing to settle for 1,500.
Yeah, I think you're looking at the wrong file. So my client's had multiple surgeries now, and there's a 1-inch differential in the two legs. The client will never walk again the way that she had before the accident. And so my demand is actually going to be a policy.
Okay.
I understand that to be $100,000 policy.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I mean, I do understand that, your client has, undergone some extensive surgeries, first apologize that, for all the life-changing circumstances in her life, but we're not 100% certain that our client is at fault.
Yeah, I'd like you to look over your client's testimony because when I asked specifically their speed, they weren't able to give me even an estimate. So my client's the only one who's testified how fast the vehicles are going, which really makes that an uncontradicted testimony. So as far as liability, I'm not really sure where you're going to go with that. I'm not really keen on giving a discount on this file, not with the severity of the injuries. And I've got a client that I think will play well to a jury. He's a sympathetic guy, he's a working guy. And I'm not sure why you're not seeing this as a policy case. But if you can tell me, other than that, you think there's a question with liability, why you think that is, I'd certainly be open to hearing it. But I don't think that you evaluated the case appropriately.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. So how about we do this, Raymond? Let our team, take another look at it, and then we will get back to you tomorrow with our policy decision.
Well, I would appreciate your taking a second look at it. But I'm going to send you another thing because I don't know that you've had a chance to look at it. I want to send you some updated photographs of the scarring, and I'd like you to confirm with me that you'll show them to your teammates. And when you have those photographs, I'd like you to take them into consideration when you give me an appropriate offer tomorrow afternoon.
Okay, that we can definitely do.
Thank you, Miss Bella.
Awesome, great job, Raymond.
Yeah, really great job, Raymond, Jessa, Bella, the feedbackers.
The feedbackers, otherwise known as judges. Judges, this is the time in the show that we get to give back in the form of feedback. And so it's going to be 30 seconds of feedback for either Raymond or Jessa, something that they did great, something that they could do to improve, and then like a little scoring system as to what are the next steps. is the next step you'd rather go to the dentist and have a root canal than have a longer meeting with Raymond or Jessa?
Ow.
Nobody wanting root canals today, I don't think yet. Not that fun. I think DC is probably more fun than that. But maybe that next step is a little mocha chocolate and a little croissante at Starbucks for a little bit longer of a meeting. But if that's not enough time, maybe a private room at the Capitol Grill, getting a seafood tower, nice juicy steak, unless you're a vegan, of course, and maybe you're having salad and French fries. But no skipping on dessert because you want to have the longest meeting possible. And if that's still not enough time, then you would rent a private, you would rent a private jet. Of course, up and pick up Howie because he did invite you here and fly anywhere in the world to have the longest meeting with Raymond or Jessa possible. And let's kick it off with Janet. And Janet, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Raymond, please?
Oh, for Raymond. Okay. I thought it was very detailed in terms of like the loss of use and such. However, it was a little bit of an aggressive ask. I did think he was great at countering some of the objections, but I don't think he actually got a yes. But at least he did get consideration for a secondary look and secondary meeting.
I never get a yes.
And Janet, from there, from there, would it be like a cup of coffee? Would it be a meal? Maybe it would be a month-long trial. What would be the next step?
It's going to be a next step. It'll be a secondary meeting to do a settlement, or if not, I think it would go to trial.
All right. Thank you, Janet. Bill of Rita.
Thank you, Janet. Let's go, David. David, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Jessa?
Jessa, I really enjoyed your presentation. I think that the fact that you come with what I can do for you, that's always an important consideration. Understanding you have some advanced knowledge of who you're talking to. You were prepared with who you're talking to, what you need to get from that person, but also what you can offer that person, and not just that person, but the person and people that they know, so that it expands even further. So I thought it was a very good approach, and you actually, I thought, were quite successful in that short time.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. And so next step, cup of coffee, a meal. What would happen next?
Well, I think they agreed that they would have another meeting. I think that she actually got the yes.
Nice.
And I think, it's not the end of it. Of course, now she has to close the deal. She has to, follow up and follow up without too much aggression, but in the right tone, and reminder that we had this conversation and that you were interested, and now we need to have a meeting. That would be next. And however,
let's go.
However, the
meeting
other
ICF, changing the world. Yeah, wonderful. Belverita.
Oh, awesome. Thank you for that, David. Let's go, Humberto. Humberto, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Raymond, please?
Raymond, I like your directness. I like what you're targeting, what you were focusing on. I felt there was a little bit of emotion. There was like no emotion, like you weren't appealing to their senses. And I always felt like it could have been more of, for them to try to see and understand what your client was going through and what you were trying to help them with. I do like the fact that you countered with the additional information with the pictures and having their team come in there and talk about it. That was very, very articulated in a way. Well, it's almost like that pain that they're missing out on is going to make a difference. And that feeling of that pain said, I'm going to have another meeting to talk to you. So I would definitely have another cup of coffee with you. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome. Humberto, we got some caffeine. Thank you, sir. Bella, nobody's falling asleep. Come on.
Nobody's falling asleep. Last but not least, let's go, Howie. Howie, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Jessa?
Well, I really like the way Jessa sort of opened the conversation. Like, what gets your, where do you get that? What makes you cry? It was certainly a different way to open a conversation with somebody you're trying to get a yes from. So it's very interesting and an emotional reaction to get that from, and got the yes at the end for helping her coaching school to move forward and get all those people going.
Awesome. Love it, Howie. Thank you for that. And now, Howie, as you know, it's that time.
Yeah, it
Bella,
is.
Howie, over to you.
Okay.
So yes, Howie, as you know, I always cook up some scenarios for Sean that he has no idea about, because this is the time in the show that we get to collaborate to put him on the hot seat in a scenario that he has no idea about. Sometimes I cook them up. Sometimes you've been a little mischievous in coming to the show with them. So do you have a scenario that you'd like to see Sean go from hello to yes, or would you like for me to throw out some ideas?
Yes, actually, Jess and I have a very topical scenario for Sean to do. So
Let's hear it.
Being in the what's it called? There's some derogatory term for Washington D.C. I'm sure there's lots
Swamp?
of them, but
The swamp?
maybe that might be it. That might be it. Yeah. So that was the in that environment, and with that in mind, what you are, Sean, you are you, right? And Jessa is going to play AOC, one of our favorite. I like the way Janet is shaking her head. So there is, a character who is maybe not middle of the road. She's got her opinions. She's doing whatever she's doing. And one of the things that she, AOC, and now Jessa, is a proponent of is universal health insurance or health care. Everybody should have, the right to a healthy body. However, Sean, I don't think you are a big fan of that in some way. I think I've heard that before once or twice. So in your 2 minutes or whatever time that we have, you are there to convince Jessa / AOC to change her mind about universal health care.
Okay. And what is AOC's actual name, Howie? Or anybody?
Andrea
Ocasio-Cortez.
Say one more time.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Okay. Okay, so let's go. So, hello, is Miss Ocasio-Cortez available?
This is.
Yes. And how shall I refer to you? I'm so grateful for the time. This is Sean Callaghy at this point for a 3-minute conversation scheduled for today. And first, is it still a good time? And if it is, how shall I appropriately refer to you?
I prefer Alexandria.
Wow. Alexandria, I'm very grateful. Is it still a good time for you?
This is. I have 3 minutes.
Yeah, I'm very grateful, and I have 2 minutes and 45 seconds counting, so I'll keep it to that. And so my opening question, Alexandria, is I know who you are, you know who you are, your time is so precious. I was a little bit surprised by your granting me these 3 minutes. I'm extremely grateful. So if I may ask you, what prompted you in the first place to even accept this conversation, Alexandria?
My base has been explaining that there's a lot of tumult going on right now, and reaching across the aisle in different ways, or at least close to the aisle, is in my best interest and that of my constituents.
Wow, well, much gratitude, appreciate you enormously. And so I'm hearing a desire for the quieting of tumult. I'm hearing unity. And if I may ask, am I hearing those things correctly? And yes, anything else about your ultimate mission, vision, purpose, Alexandria, and why you're serving our country?
I just want everybody to have what they need.
Yeah.
How else can I help you?
Yeah. So from that place, thank you. So then what I'm here to have a conversation about is how to give everyone what they actually need. And I am fully on board with all of America having its needs met, for starters. So I'm a blind man that was raised with little means, as was my uncle, who was an out-of-network physician surgeon, my Uncle Jimmy, who was tragically killed in an automobile accident in 1998. And my uncle taught me one critical thing as somebody who turned down Harvard and Johns Hopkins and went to Jules Stein at UCLA, and whose daughter, my cousin Jamie, went to medical school and is actually a physician for at-risk babies for people in the inner city who have economic challenges at the University of Pennsylvania. And what my Uncle Jimmy taught me was the difference between healthcare in the United States, Canada, and around the rest of the world. And again, footnote, my family, my grandparents, his parents were Democrats. And my uncle, I am not a Democrat and I'm not a Republican. I'm somebody who seeks utility for the American people.
Okay.
And so, so Alexandria, what I'm here to share is a proposal for a 30-minute conversation. And in that 30-minute conversation, what I would be honored to be able to present is why the most challenged Americans economically are better off if we do not have universal health care. And we have a healthcare system.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, if I may share.
Can you give me the
So-
Cliff Notes version of it so that I can decide whether or not this is a conversation I want to have?
Of course. So my ex-wife, her brother was a street-level drug dealer in Newark. My ex-wife grew up on the streets of Central Avenue, some of the most challenged inner-city environment in the country. One night, because my then brother-in-law had stiffed the higher-ups in the drug dealing chain, he was stomped on and almost killed. I had the incredibly unenviable situation of walking into that hospital and having to decide whether he should have surgery, where the spinal surgeon was showing us his broken neck and telling us there was an incredibly real risk of his death during surgery. And it was my call, because his sister was in hysterics, as to whether to proceed with the surgery or not. The doctor who was there was an out-of-network surgeon who was very successful, very wealthy. And I know people who knew him. But because of his Hippocratic oath of treating people with the right insurance, he's able, as one of the most talented physicians in the world, to treat people, just like my uncle. So we don't have a situation with people not being able to get the right medical care, Alexandria. We have a situation where this is used as a political talking point. I don't mean by you, but where others leverage this issue. And every study I will show you from around the globe will demonstrate that universal health care equals a drop in health care for all, including horrifically worse access to health care for the most impoverished. Why? Because there's not enough doctors left in the end. Because people tell their kids, don't become a doctor in a socialized healthcare system. So from that place, I pause. This isn't about money. It's not about winning. It's not about taking things from people. It's about mathematical truth and reality and science. So, Alexandria, I appreciate your heart. I have no question that you want the best for American people, for the American people. And I'm simply requesting a 30-minute meeting so we can work on getting to truth and truly helping the most disadvantaged in America. Footnote, my former brother-in-law was skiing 18 months later, learning to ski. And I was supporting him in getting off of his drug addiction. So I pause, and Alexandria, how would it resonate with you or not, to have a 30-minute follow-up conversation, please. And thank you for everything you do for America.
I will say, if you could send over to my office the documentation on all of these things and your ideas, I and my team will go over them, and then we will get back with you.
That is amazing. So may I make this simple request?
You may.
Would it be possible that we were to schedule a meeting and you could easily remove it from the calendar?
I'm
if you
willing to
find-
pencil something in. Yes.
Thank you. I'm very grateful for that. And shall I set that up with your assistant, Joe?
That'd
Let's set
be
up
great.
this meeting. Okay. Thank you for that. Have a blessed day, Alexandria, and thank you again.
Thank you.
Out of roll, Jessa, you are wonderful as AOC. And not
I'm
easy at
not
all.
a huge fan of her, and that's why that was hard for me.
Well, wonderful, and I would not agree with many of her perspectives as well. But thank you for that. And how did I do having the conversation with her, Jessa?
Knowing what I do know of AOC and having watched her speak, because I watch everyone, she would probably not have been that patient, honestly. She has the I'm for the people, but her heart is a little bit less patient than most people that I was. She's a politician.
Sure.
I would say that if we had sped it up and maybe just one less footnote, she probably would have been like, you know what, I'll hear it out, because your story was very compelling. And
So how about this? How about this? How about if we step in for one more minute?
Okay.
And you're super disrespectful, You're
Me?
super disruptive and super impatient with me.
Oh, I don't know how I didn't sign up for this.
You could do it. You could do it.
Who's that?
Not you too, Humberto. Come on, you guys. I'm not mean at all. Okay, I'll try.
So who?
I will try. I'll
Who
be like,
wants to
I
know
don't
who's
have time
the?
for this.
Somebody said they want to do it. Though. Who's that?
Umberto.
No. I want to.
He just wants to see the.
Raise your
he
hand.
just
I
wants
want
to
an
see the-
I'm an
just-
advocate for
Okay,
some
so-
action. Just be your alter ego, Jessa. If you can't be that person, be
All
your
right, I'll
alter ego.
pretend that you're my 11-year-old who just lied to me and I got time for this.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. So Jessa, I'm sorry. So Alexandria, from that place, I'd simply propose in this 30-minute follow-up conversation.
I don't think I have 30 minutes for this unless you can send something over that my team can actually go through, sift through, and vet.
I would be fully appreciative of that. Can I ask you a simple question? I can hear resistance. I can hear closed energy. And just quick thought, Robert Cialdini, who teaches influence at Arizona State University, talks about the principle of commitment and
Who's
consistency.
Robert to me? I'm sorry.
We had
Who's
it earlier.
Robert? Why does he matter?
He's somebody who knows respectfully, Alexandria. He's a person you should be listening to understand yourself.
I listened to Bernie Sanders.
I don't know what that has to do with anything, because the truth is that there's science behind what we're saying. So the question is that I have for you is, are you for the truth, the best interest of the American people, or are you for whatever position you've already committed to? And I don't mean it disrespectfully. What is it that you actually stand for?
It has to be a truth that actually serves my base as well, because that's what I was
of course
elected to do.
And who is your?
Well, let me stop you. You're taking up my time. I'm going to take up yours. I need truth, but I also need it delivered in a way that I can clearly and easily explain to my base. If you can't send that to me or my team to vet, I don't have the time and energy for this, because I've got a lot on my plate. We're doing protests all over the country right now.
Of course, and I'm happy to send it to you. But my simple question is, can you give me your heart and your word that you're seeking truth and not to confirm something that you already believe? That's my only question.
Well, I will say you initiated this phone call, so I wasn't seeking anything. You're the one seeking something. So I need you to give me what that is so that I can tell you whether or not that serves me and my constituents.
Alexandria, you're seeking truth for the American people. That's what you do for a living, isn't it?
Technically, yes.
Yeah. So I'm here to support that.
Because
And
I hate
you'll either. I'm sorry, what, Jessa?
No, I was talking to the crowd. They're all giving me faces.
That you're doing a wonderful.
Go
So do you see how we can easily pivot energetically, where I'm not fighting, but I keep bringing back to truth.
I do like
And now
that.
I've shifted. And how does that resonate for you, Jessa?
So if I'm Alexandria, I'm going to keep pushing until you say, fine, I'll give you what you need and I will agree to never talk to you again, because that's how she is. Me personally, I would have said, okay, let's go to lunch right now. I got time. I'll cancel my next appointment. Let's go. Let's talk about this. Let's have a meeting of the minds. But
I
that's
bet you a 30-minute cold plunge in the Atlantic Ocean in January.
I've done that so
AOC
many times. Yes, let's go.
Yes, that AOC would not end there with me, because I just went through Congress for 2 days, and nobody ended there with me.
I am so
Because-
glad to hear that. I was just playing the game, playing the role.
Of course, no. But the whole point of it is,
I loved how you kept coming back to the truth. Get rid of your preconceived notions. Get rid of, you already said you were going to do this, but what's the truth? What is the truth?
Yeah.
What is
and that's what I did for 2 days in Congress, and opened the listening of every single person for 2 days, Democrats and Republicans.
Do you have
So-
recordings of those? I would love to see those.
Well, all you need to do is watch the thousands of hours of the Heart of Influence, and we do these every day, where people are intensely crazy with me, super nice and kind to me, and everything in between.
Oh, I hope I was in between. I don't want to be too bad.
Jesse, your energy is wonderful. I fully appreciate the fact that you want to talk to the president of the ICF. I'm a stand for disrupting and recreating an entire world of coaching, training, and acceleration. And I really appreciate your energy. You did a fantastic job today.
Oh.
So thank you. I mean that with all my heart. You did a wonderful job in the role play. And just overall, how was your time today, Jessa, on the Heart of Influence?
This was one of the most exciting experiences I've had in a very long time. The last time I had this much fun in a setting like this, I was being interviewed by somebody who knew nothing about me. His name was Daniel Levin, and it was mind-boggling, just like this. Like, what just came out of my mouth? I don't know. I was very excited. Thank you, Howie. I really appreciate the invitation. I'm so grateful.
Yeah. Thank you, Jess. And I became an ICF certified coach 22 years ago and was in the infancy of coaching center certification.
I have coached so many ICF graduates over the last 14 years, and they are the ones saying, you need to find her, you need to call her. And I'm like, I'm almost ready. I'm almost ready. Almost ready.
Well, let's go. Jessa, thank you for that. We'll talk more.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Janet, thank you. Thanks for being in that feedbacker seat, kicking us off there. How was your time today, Janet, on Howie's Heart of Influence?
It was fun. You know, I enjoy the back and forth and definitely hearing different perspectives. And I'm always looking to improve my my ask for the yes. You know, in addition to my HR consulting, I'm also an agent for Legal Shield and Identity Shield, and I do have to do an ask. And I'm never good at it. So it's nice to hear different ways that you've gone about trying to get a yes. So thank you. I do appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Janet. Beautiful work. Let's go, David. Thank you for being on Howie's Heart of Influence in that feedbacker seat. Appreciate that feedback. And David, how was your time with us here today?
I appreciate the opportunity to be here. And it took really 1 minute, the first minute, for me to get value. Even, as a matter of fact, before, even in the invitation to be here, I had value already about just narrowing the focus from how to get to a yes. And the yes doesn't always mean the end of the deal. But I mean, I'm trying to persuade clients that they need certain services, whether they get them from me or whether they get them from somebody else. It's remarkable how many people do not have estate plans who absolutely should have them. So I just, and listening to, it's always helpful to see different people present in different ways. You know, I think Raymond's approach, I'm not sure that I would do it the same way as anybody. I thought, Sean, that you were, I don't know, I wouldn't have been as patient as AOC was with you, I think. I think, in my view, you challenged her more than I would have been willing. It's like, you know, you called me and you're telling me that I'm narrow, you know, but this is valuable to me to have that perspective from somebody and to see how somebody does it and say, okay, you know, would I be more or less or in what way? So
David, what I want to leave you with just briefly is I don't do it the same way ever. So under the principle of influence, what we're doing is we're discerning the gap between where people are, where they want to be, and the acceptability or not. And then we're matching energetically. And everything's about driving back into the heart of the truth. And whatever we need to do, where we meet people in the beginning, because Jessa played AOC very nicely, very kindly, I was match under. And as soon as people become dismissive, disrespectful, closed, where they're breaking integrity, AOC's job is to decide for the American people what's better. And it's quite a meaningful issue, whether it's universal health care or not. Like, that isn't like what color shoes you're wearing. So like, hey, you called me, so what do you want? Well, I want you to make the right decision for the American people. What you're telling everyone is what you're after. So I'm not quite sure what you're talking about. And that disruption is how what we call reopen the listening and drive people back into their heart, because all optimal decisions are made from the heart. So how do you get people back into their heart? And that works for prison guards, billionaires, homeless people, lawyers, nice ones, mean ones, accountants, like the whole deal. So whatever I did in the example was based upon how Jessa was participating in each scenario.
Sure.
Make sense?
Sure. Have to be able to listen and be able to absorb and absorb what the other person's giving you and then turn it back in a productive way.
Yeah. In eight different meetings in Congress in the 2 days.
And Sean, just so you know, Raymond's going to have to jump.
Meeting.
So I just wanted to let you know.
Oh, go. Yeah, so let's go.
Thank
Raymond.
you,
Yeah, thank you, David. Thank you for being here. Raymond, your final. Great job in participating. How was your time today, Raymond?
You know, I had a really nice time. It's an interesting presentation. I appreciate you inviting me, Howard. And it was nice to meet all of you. I didn't know
Cool.
many of you were local. Relatively local.
Cool. Yeah. Well,
Thanks,
Raymond,
Thanks for
excellent
being here,
work.
Raymond.
Yeah, appreciate you, brother. Bella
Take care,
Vreda.
guys.
Thank you, Raymond. And Peter had to run also, so that leaves us with Humberto. Humberto, thank you for being here today. You are a champion. And how was your time with us on the Heart of Influence?
I like the energy. That lightning bolt says it all. I felt the truth. I felt people speaking from their heart. Nobody held anything back. The feeling that I got was everybody was authentic and genuine. Sometimes when people are disagreeing all the time, there's that constant friction. What is the truth? The truth for one person is not the truth for the other person. But if you keep asking for it, eventually the truth becomes the same for everyone. And I think the truth here is what I learned from this show was people have differences and we have to battle through them and we have to get through them. And you can't think that I'm better than the next person. We got to try to work together and settle our differences, because at the end of the day, the emotions that you go through will make you stronger. It's like that kid you have a fight with and then you're best friends the rest of your life. You got to get through those moments of battling and understanding. And the thing that I liked the most was the last one, when the communication back and forth. Do you want the truth? Can you? I just wanted to know how do you figure that out? And that communication became clearer and clearer and clearer. I loved it. Thank you. Thank you for having me
Humberto.
and being part of it. It was awesome.
Beautiful job, brother. Thank you. Howie, wonderful job with everybody here today. This is a heart-centered dude. Howie, your final.
Yeah, this is great. I love doing these shows, but every show is a little different, and I love everybody's reaction to that. And I'm looking forward to catching up with everyone after the show. And just this is really the first time a lot of you have met each other. Just make sure it's not the last time.
Yeah.
And Bella, we got some gifts, I think, right?
Yeah, and thank you for all the effort of putting these people together. Yes, we have our group influence textbook. I've had the blessing and privilege of teaching people from Harvard Business School, Harvard Law School, Yale Law School, Disney, T-Mobile, Salesforce, biggest personal development stages in the world, biggest legal stages in the world as well, on what this all looks like in the 20-year study of my life of influence. But a footnote, influence isn't the end. The second question is, which yeses are we seeking to cause? So just as important as causing yeses, which yeses we cause. And we have books as gift for you on all of those beautiful topics in group influence and process mastery that are your gifts because of Howie, and an acceleration session to bring to life what we're talking about, unlike anything you'll see anywhere. That's why Bella Vreda is here. Bella.
That is why I'm here. And I actually sat in the spot of Jessa and Raymond about 4 years ago now. And the truth is I came to the show ready to kick Sean's butt and show him everything I knew about sales. And I quickly learned that there was a difference between sales and influence, and especially influence with integrity and people of influence. And I have stuck around for 4.5 years now and I continue to learn more and more every single day. And so if you are growth minded and heart centered, then definitely have those conversations with the team. Definitely download those guides, because I promise you they are full of gold. So thank you all for being here. Definitely connect with each other. And Sean, back to you.
Yes, thank you very much.
What he is trying to say is he's saying thank you everybody for being here. Sean, you're cutting in and out. But what he's trying to say is he ends every show by saying he may be physically blind, but we believe we're all blind to the opportunities right in front of us and just learning to see. Bye-bye.